Hello YouTubers, this is 𝘄𝘄𝘄 here today, and it's been quite a while since the last pickups video. I'm not going to be showcasing everything that's been accumulated within the last few years, but I did pick and choose some stuff that either I have played through or have played a bit of, or stuff that I might be playing either by myself, or if it's a game that's two-player I might play with my husband. But this is kind of a mixed bag here, so most of the stuff, or pretty much all the stuff here, is going to be either in the PlayStation or Nintendo hardware. So majority is software, accessory, controller. But if later on, if you guys want me to do other videos that showcase some other stuff that has been purchased throughout the last few years and stuff, just let me know in the comment section down below. But I just really picked some stuff that stood out to me, whether it was the price point for it, and of course the fact of being interested in wanting to play that, especially for JRPGs and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna just get started. The first three that I have here right now in my hands are gonna be PlayStation Vita games, and they are Grand Kingdom, Operation Babel, and Lost Dimension. And I have a receipt for Operation Babel, and that one was showing that it was in May 2021 that it was purchased. So I want to assume that the other two were also purchased in 2021 or maybe in 2020. But the main thing is, like, I either heard from a few of my friends that they enjoyed playing these games, or I had known someone before that I had worked with that had played Grand Kingdom and said that it was a great game. And I had the illustration booklet that was given to me by him many years ago, but it had always just stuck in my mind to maybe just check it out if I ever saw it at a good price. And it was just interesting to see it for a good price at that point in time, because Grand Kingdom was purchased at $15, Lost Dimension was purchased at $20, and same for Operation Babel was $20 as well. But yeah, games that I want to play that I haven't played yet, but am interested in doing so. Gonna move on to 4 PS4 games. Technically, 3 out of the 4 already own on the Vita as well. Played through each one of those games from beginning to end. Enjoyed them a lot. Could play them over on the PlayStation TV if I want to. I guess I got it for the fact that I just really love the series in general, and even though they're not new and it's not really showing support to the developers because I'm getting it from like a mom and pop shop, I told myself I would still enjoy playing it on the PlayStation 4 regardless, and I have played 1. I'm kind of in the middle with one that I'm it's like a 1.5 between 1 and 2, and then I would go back to play number 2 and number 3, and that's this series right here. So you got where it has games 1 and 2, Reload, Killing Harmony, and then Ultra Despair Girls, another episode. This is the one that I'm kind of in the middle with, and then I played the first one, and then I'll go back to do number 2, and then I'll do number 3. But yeah, I've just been having fun replaying through this and stuff. And I think one of them came with a soundtrack CD, I thought. Yeah. For Killing Harmony, it came with 10 soundtracks. That does look pretty cute though, for the CD, with Monokuma right there on it for the design. And it came with a little manual as well. It's a manual. Oh, it has the list, kind of like a little informational thing for each of the characters within the game for Killing Harmony. I don't think there's really, yeah, it's just the games for the other 2 discs for the other ones. But yeah, putting them off to the side. The fourth and final game for PS4 that I have for today is called Crystar, and didn't really hear too much about it. I had seen a little bit of trailers for it. It's not really a common game to find out in the wild, at least in my personal experience. Just never really saw it except for the time whenever I saw this with the other Danganronpa games. So we had a good amount of my husband and I, we had a good amount of trading credit for that store, so we decided to grab this along with those other 3 games. This one also has a really good sized booklet as well. On the back it says, increase the power of your attacks and armor by shedding tears. In Crystar, tears aren't a sign of weakness but of strength. So, yeah. I want to see maybe about trying to start that one before the end of 2022. That would be nice. Gonna move on to a Switch game and then some 3DS games, and then I'll put the rest of the Switch games a bit later on. But this one is called, actually before that, if you're a fan of rhythm games, you want to try something, I guess, different, or just another rhythm game, honestly, for the Nintendo Switch, I highly recommend Mad Rat Dead. I'm going to see about if I can find a YouTuber who has a good amount of, if not all, of the soundtracks that's within this game. The songs range from classical to pop to techno to rap for one of the songs. It's just a lot of so much diversity for the music and stuff. It just keeps everything fresh. The art style is it's just really interesting. I really like it. You have different difficulties to play the game. There's a free play mode for it as well. If you do mess up by hitting an enemy, falling off to your doom, you can be able to, up to a certain point, kind of go back in time a bit in order to correct your mistake, if you want to, which I think is a neat mechanic to have. But yeah, if you guys can find this that's not expensive and you want it physical, I highly recommend it. And digital is okay too, if that's what you prefer. These 3 games I have now are for, wait, do I want to do these? Yeah, I do. Nintendo 3DS. This one I haven't opened yet, and it's Majora's Mask. I have a copy of Ocarina of Time. My hubby does too. He had Majora's Mask. And this one was at one of the local Walmart stores, and it was on sale from $20 down to $10. So even though we already had one, I think to have another one on hand in case, like, if I want to play it and he wants to play his at the same time, you know, instead of kind of seeing who could play it first or whatever, it's just nice to have another copy, especially a Legend of Zelda game. And for $10, why not? This was another one that was also at the local Walmart that we went to. Yokai Watch 2 Fleshy Souls. This one has some paperwork in it and stuff, and then it has this little coin thing, but... Ooh. Oh, okay. On the back it had some glue or whatever, so whenever I tried to move the coin off from the paper, it almost like fell because the glue was stuck to it. For a second I was worried. I'm like, did I rip something? No, I didn't. Persona Shadow of the Labyrinth. This one was $35 out of town. It probably should have a manual. I haven't checked. I can check on eBay or whatever later on. But this just came with the case, cover art, and the game itself. But yeah. I'm hoping to find Persona Q2, but if the pricing for it is not right, then I probably won't ever add it to the collection. It kind of is what it is. Alright, we got Wii games. Wii games, y'all. I'm gonna just put 5 here. I have been playing with my hubby let's see, we've been playing 2 out of 5. So we've been playing Metal Slug Anthology. It does have the manual. Play up to 4 players. This is, it includes Metal Slug 2, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, 5, and 6. The case is kind of beat up, but grabbed it. We got it for 20 at the time. I'm trying to see for the receipt because the receipt was about to fly away. This one shows it was purchased November of 2020. Oh yeah, this is a really fun run and gun game. You know, just pick it up, play it a bit, put it down. Something if you want to just play for just a little bit, not really get heavy invested into, and quite enjoyable. Another one that was lots of fun. It did have challenges, a lot of challenges along the way. And sometimes I felt like, man, am I really even helping in this situation at times with my character? Sometimes it was that bad for me. But really highly enjoy. And if I'm not mistaken, this was also, there's a Sin and Punishment game that's also from Japan, but I think it was only released in Japan for N64. But for the Wii, this is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this. There was some frustrating, you know, points in this, but you know what? It was really enjoyable to play it with another person, and lots of fun. It does have a manual, but I think the reason why it's so heavy, if my memory is not mistaken, is because it just has the same thing over again in a different language. Yeah, that's the case. But yeah, the manual was in really good condition. Very happy that it even came with it. These other 3 haven't. My hubby has played a little bit though of the Wario Land Shake It. But there it is right there. It does have the manual, and this one was purchased at $15. Manual looks pretty nice too. There's sometimes, you know, instances where it's like the manual kind of shares the same cover art as like the front for the game case, but in that case it wasn't. Like for this one, this next game does share the same, the manual does share the image on the front for the cover art, and that is Lost in Shadow. And squeaky. And this one's interesting, where yeah, you do play as a shadow, and there's stuff in the foreground that you move, you know, puzzles and stuff like that, and whenever you move certain things, then different shadows and stuff appear for you where you're currently playing. It's just very interesting to kind of see that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like for pushmo, solving puzzles and stuff. But you have like different, you know, layers that you're kind of working with. You're working with the foreground and background in order to get from A to B. But yeah. And it kind of, it caught my eye whenever I looked at the front cover, and then I started reading more information on the back, and it wasn't something that I would usually find at a game exchange. The next one and last Wii game is WarioWare Smooth Moves. This one's showing for $15. Oops, sorry, I hit the stand. There you go. Took off the slip cover, but I'm going to just show it again. the last part of the software is going to be all Nintendo Switch, and then we have some hardware accessory type stuff after that. So, 𝘵𝘁𝘁𝗯𝗲 1 and 2 Hidden Treasures Edition. This is the slip cover. Same on both sides. Well, slightly. Female and then male character at the end. Not at the end, at the bottom of the sides. But where did I? Oh, okay, I put the sticker back. Okay, I was like, where did I put my sticker? Grabbed it because one, interested, and also for the fact of the great price for it. So this was an open box, brand new. They had just this case, empty case out on the front, and in the drawers they had the Treasures Edition behind the counter. And I couldn't believe that it had everything and that it was like that, but yeah. I don't know what it cost originally before it kept on getting its markdowns, but maybe it was 40 or 60 originally, but for $16.97, yes. And I'll show the contents too from the box, but on one side we have this lovely artwork. And here's a side view. And then this other side. On the inside we have a soundtrack CD, we have the art book, and we have something else that I forgot what it was. Because it's in a box and I'm just like, nope, I don't remember. So I'm just going to take everything out. Box down. But the booklet itself is really good. The how do I describe it? The materials used for it. It has a nice texture. It almost feels kind of rubberized here for the booklet itself. And then the gold lettering and trimming. And then on the inside, just it's just made with a lot of care, a lot of detail for it. We got 2 discs. Disc 1 has 32 tracks. Disc 2 has 24 tracks. I said tax. Can I open it on the back or? Oh, okay. For a second, I'm like, I was not sure. There you go. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to open this. But this is a 100-piece jigsaw puzzle. Maybe if I do open it eventually, then just end up putting it in a frame after completing the puzzle and then putting the puzzle on the wall. I think that would look pretty cool. Okay. After 𝘵𝘁𝘁𝗯𝗲, we have me moving to the right because the stuff has been pushed off more further away from the side. So I need to grab it. I just realized I needed to push this stuff a lot closer. Where's that other one? Because I have 2 copies. We have 2 copies. Okay. My hubby had gotten one as a gift, and then as soon as he got this one, they ended up putting out a collector's edition, and we both thought it would be a good idea to have a second copy. We have played a bit of them at the same time, because there'll be times whenever I want to play with him a 2-player game, or maybe we'll play a 1-player game, and I'll choose, we'll both play it a bit at the same time. I don't know, it's enjoyable. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of doesn't sound like make much sense whenever I say it like that, but even though with the single player game and he's not helping me or doing anything with me while playing his copy and stuff, I don't know if I'm, I don't know, if I have questions or if he does and stuff, or try to find, because there's stuff that are hidden within these games. And if I find a certain, oops, yeah, it's open, a certain location, then I'll show it to him or let him know. But it is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I've been playing the Japanese copy, and then he's playing the North American copy. So both of them share the same inside cover art. The only difference is the North American one came, of course, with a lot of other extra goodies, and it came with its own little booklet manual, some stickers, soundtrack. It came with other stuff too. But let's see here. I'm gonna open it so I can show you guys. Yeah, this was the sleeve. Does look really cool to the side. I'm gonna put it. That looks cute. It comes with a world cloth map. I'll probably just show you the back again instead of trying to unfold that map. But let's see here. Here's what the original soundtrack front looks like. CD 1 has 27 songs, CD 2 has 30 songs. And this is what the discs look like. And the booklet. See if what other, show you guys some other photos that are actually within the game. And I have the cloth mat in here, but it's this that I'm not going to unfurl, but it looks like that whenever it's completely open. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure. All right. Gonna zip through these. Untitled Goose Game. Even though on the back on this box it says 1 player, you can play it with another player. So you have two geese. And this is just a lot of silly fun. So you have a lot of these oddball objects and stuff. You have different things that you might be assigned to do, like moving something a certain way, unlocking something, adding things to a bin, or, you know, knocking something over to accomplish your task. And doing it with another person while just making a whole bunch of mayhem and stuff in the game is just lots of fun. It's just silly, wacky funniness at its finest. This one I have played a few worlds, have not completed, but I have played a good chunk, which is 𝘄𝘄𝘄 and the Wild Masks. And if you love platformer games, I highly recommend it if you want one that has a... In the beginning, it ends up having a little bit more of a challenge whenever you go through, get further along in the different worlds. Now this one, right off the bat, is a challenge to me, to my hubby and I, and that is Tanuki Justice, but it is still lots of fun as well. There is also a North American release, but at the time, whenever seeing this online, the one we saw on Amazon was just the PAL version, so that's what we ended up purchasing. And for the PAL, and I think also the North American one, they only made a certain amount of copies. So with this one, they made 20,000 copies of the standard version of the game. I don't know if there was any other version, but this is number 17,163 out of 2,000. So yeah. On the inside, it does take use of that empty white space with, I don't know why, but yeah, that's making me think of Dragon Ball Z. Oh, and then certificate of authenticity for the copy number that we have. Alright, putting these off to the side so I don't re-show them again by accident. Played the first one, haven't played the second one yet. Need to go back and play this first one over, because once you unlock all the characters, you can be able to go to other places that you couldn't originally through your first playthrough, but haven't gotten to that point yet, and that is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. We've had this one for quite a while, but the reason why I wanted to show that was because also in conjunction to Curse of the Moon 2. This one they re-released, well, they had it on limited run, of course, but then they also had, this is the copy from Best Buy. This one was from limited run, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and not from Best Buy. I don't even know if they did one for Best Buy for this, honestly, but they did for the first one. And for the second one, it looks like you can play it with 2 players, 1 to 2 players. First one was just 1 player. This one, whenever I get a chance to, whenever I'm feeling a mood to just play it once in a while if I want, or if hubby wants and stuff, and that is Castlevania Anniversary Collection. I thought it was cool that they added Kid Dracula. I heard people talking about that game. That was a cute little game to play. But finding a copy of that, like I think it was originally on the Game Boy. I don't know if it was re-released on other ones besides the Game Boy for Kid Dracula, but if I'm not mistaken, that cartridge is still very expensive to find physically, so it's great that you have the option for that game plus all the other ones that they decided to add onto this cartridge as an option. Alright, last game. Mercy, this is going to be a 3-part video. I thought I could do it in 2, but that's not happening. Okay. Cruel King and the Great Hero. This is a game that I've been playing on my Twitch channel. I've only posted 2 videos. I need to post more. I don't really have an excuse as to why I haven't been posting more. I think there's just a lot of times where I just feel meh, and I don't feel like I should play when I feel meh, but then there's other reasons too, but it's just random stuff that I've been dealing with all my life that, you know, if you're not feeling well, even if you're not feeling well for no apparent reason and stuff, so you just gotta get through that and play it when I do feel like I want to, but then try to figure out a way of doing it where I feel comfortable in doing it consistently and feeling motivated to do so. And I really do want to do that, honestly. But sorry for the sounding kind of down in the dumps. My bad, but I'm going to just continue. But here's the game itself. For the Cruel King and the Great Hero, I have a Twitch account. I've posted gameplay 1 and gameplay 2. Each of the videos are about 30 minutes long. For both the first and second part, though, it's kind of really heavy in the tutorial portion of the game, honestly. But if you are interested in watching a little bit or some of it, I'll post my Twitch channel down below in the comment section or in the description box. Actually, both for this video. Let me see. I'm going to very gingerly take out the box so I can show you the contents. I say gingerly, but then the box itself wants to like move and just dump itself on the floor. For the soundtrack itself, it was a code. 22 songs. I will show one side of it. I'm not going to show the other side because that's where the code is, but this shows the list of the songs. And then here's the booklet. And this booklet kind of has a similar texture, honestly, to the La Mulana 1 and 2 Hidden Treasure Edition. It just feels kind of that same material, but brown with the gold trimming. And I'm not going to showcase inside of the book because it actually, I don't know if it's just part of it or if it does from beginning to end just talk about the story aspect of the game itself, so that would be a major spoiler. But yeah, essentially, yeah, it was the soundtrack, the booklet, and there's technically a little plush as well. That's just going to stay in its wrapping in this box. I wish there was an option where it would have been just maybe the game by itself, but it was just this edition, and then there was another more expensive edition that was on the NIS website, but there wasn't one where it just had the game, or at least if it had it have just the booklet and the soundtrack and not really the plush. But it's okay, just gonna keep it in its little box, the little plush. I don't think I showed you guys the box though for it. Whenever I took the slip cover off, this is what the box looks like. I'll just flip it over to the vertical orientation now since I did it for the back. There you go. Rest is hardware and accessories for the remainder of this video. As I grab the items gingerly with care and block out the extra light source at the same time. This stuff ranges from, yeah, late 2019, 2022. I don't remember when for a good majority of these, except for the last item. But this one, hubby and I found at a pawn shop. And it didn't come with the case, and it didn't come with the little wrist strap for this, and I don't think, was there a wrist strap on the other ones? No. But for all of these, the cases bought separately on Amazon. This one was $100. If I remember right, it didn't come with an AC cable, but I was just happy that it came with the stylus. I mean, I have extra stylus, but that just, normally that's the first thing to go whenever you find any type of a 3DS, 2DS system that's been traded in. Like, the stylus is the first thing that people seem to lose. But yeah. Just kind of like angle this where it's not showcasing my face to the world. This one I think was the same 100 on a site that I can't remember right now. If I do, I'll add it in the description. This one was for a new 2DS XL. This one did have a missing stylus. So, got the styluses on Amazon, a few black, this light blue one that matches it as well, and some other odd colors that came with it. But it was either get a lot of, like a pack of 8 that was super cheap, or getting a more expensive set, even though it was like only 3 or 4 within that pack, which didn't make sense. So more bang for your buck. And then, oh yeah, so 100, 100. This one was for 120, and that is a new 3DS XL, and this is the red one. And there are incidents, there are things just like, why, for my husband and I, because even before we got married, we each had a good amount of games, movies, systems, just everything in general. And then when we married, we just kind of mishmashed everything together. But you might be asking, like, why so many like different 3DS, you know, handhelds and stuff? But there's many different reasons, or why type for your questions. One is for the fact it was good for the price point. Another thing is if something happens to maybe our, like, say for instance, if something happens to one of our Legend of Zelda Hyrule Edition 3DSs, like something happens to the case or some of the buttons or something like that, then we can take it if we need to. Hopefully not, but if we do need to, then we can take it from another unit, or we can take some of these and like modify them in some certain way. And it's just good to have at times extra, if you can get extra, if something happens to your main one that you have and you have a backup one or a backup for your backup. But yeah, and then I'll be talking about, if I have time, a project we'll be working on. But yeah, that's pretty much for the reason. Price point, if the price is good and not astronomical, it's good to have, you know, backups on hand in case something does happen. Or you can be able to take from a unit that's not a limited edition and use those parts towards your limited edition, or screen repair, buttons, sound, you name it, use it for parts. Or if not, hopefully, then you can just kind of use a little bit of each one and kind of help the duration of it. So far, I think on Nintendo's official website you can order their batteries for the 3DS systems, which is great if you want to get some first-party batteries, or you can get third-party batteries from, you know, Amazon, eBay, other websites as well. But yeah, those are there. And then this is the last thing to showcase that's part of the pickups video. As I stated, if I have time, I'll let you guys know on a cool project we might be working on if that part comes in from customs. Hopefully it does. Hopefully. But this is it right here. Then there's also 3 controllers, but I'm only showcasing one because that one's been changed with a different purple kind of shell that looks really cool. And the other 2 I just kind of kept off to the side. The stand didn't come with it. The stand was purchased on Amazon. And it's just a vertical stand. It doesn't have any type of external cooling that's being pushed from the bottom up through the PS4. And this is the PS4 Pro. So this is the item where most of you guys may not believe it, but whatever, if you want to believe it or not. Earlier this year, in a trash can. This PS4 and 3 PS4 controllers were in a local trash can, just tossed away. My husband took our dog outside in the morning and brought this back in with Cricket, and I couldn't believe it. I just honestly looked at it, and he's looking at it, and I'm just like, no, this isn't real. And then my thoughts after kind of getting past that was like, yeah, they probably threw away, they chunked this for the fact that something's wrong with it. Like, it's not working. Like, this isn't working, and probably those 3 controllers aren't working. But I guess it would be cool to just see if it doesn't work, maybe use it for parts, or see about trying to fix it. Or use some of the parts from those controllers for our working pre-existing controllers. But after plugging it in, and testing out the controllers, it actually works. So, yep. And in our area there, we have a kind of a system, or people have a system to where if they've lost something or someone took something, then they would put it in as a, you know, lost and found type poster deal. We waited for over a month kind of to see if anything would pop up, someone would say anything for the system, but no one did. So we took it apart, cleaned it inside out, replaced the hard drive with a solid state drive. I'm trying to think what else. Like I said, vertical stand. And this is one of the controllers, so it has a translucent purple at the top and then black with the purple kind of splatter kind of grip on the back. And this shell was purchased on Amazon. Excuse me. It just had like one little modification for, I think, the bottom part of the shell, and that was it. To kind of take off of 2 pieces of plastic in order for it to kind of sit right with all the other stuff inside. But yeah, that's kind of the main and last thing. There's technically this accessory, but it's not really. I might save it for another video. It's I'll leave this as the highlight, honestly, for the tail end is this right here. But yeah, trash can, and it works. And cleaned it, took it apart, put it back together. We both did, and yeah. Now, as for the project that we were gonna work on, hopefully this summer, is modifying a 3DS XL system to where it has the capture card in it. So we ended up purchasing the board for it, all the components for the capture card for the 3DS XL. It's just going through customs, and hopefully it will arrive before the end of this month or next month. We ended up getting a tracking number for it, so we just have to kind of look to see and hope that it doesn't get kind of stuck in customs. But yeah, I'm going to modify the Japan 3DS LL. The reason why is because on that board versus the North American version, it has where the, if I'm not mistaken, where the IR blaster is at, it has its own kind of like, I'll call it a little Lego chip that kind of sits on top of the main board where you can disconnect it. And from there, when you put the capture card in there, everything kind of sets and aligns right with the 3DS XL Japan version. For the capture card, we purchased towards that. When taking apart a new 3DS XL North American version, where the IR blaster is at, it has it to where that stuff in that particular area is, kind of just soldered onto the board. Just it's there, part of the board, and not really a little Lego piece that you can just disconnect and pop back on if you really want to again. So they probably do make capture cards out there that you can purchase that's for more of the North American. I don't know if that's the same for Europe's 3DS line, if that's the case, but that's what we're working with. Hopefully we'll work with once that comes in, is getting a capture card set up to where being able to record and play games on the monitor screen and stuff, and maybe doing that as part of maybe on YouTube, but I probably will honestly shift that more to Twitch. I'll shift to playing games that are Switch and 3DS on my Twitch channel. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll read them as soon as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys!